All right, welcome back. This is Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. Been away now. I'm back. Your messages are welcome. That WhatsApp number you see on the screen, send your messages through to it. 0551 575757. It's right there. 0551 575757. I will read as many messages as possible. Our producer will also put the Zoom link there, and you can join us. We'll talk to you on our screen here. It's Easter Monday edition. The Pope Francis has also passed away. May he so rest in peace. He was a big football fan, was a supporter of Argentine football club San Lorenzo, always rooting for the Albi Celeste, the Argentina national team. He passed away today at the age of 88, and so may he so rest in peace. That affected all sporting activity in Italy, including 4 Serie A matches that had to be postponed and rescheduled to Wednesday as a result of the Pope's passing today. All right. It's Easter Monday, so I've given Danike and Sicho off, and I've dragged in Victor Achutamoklu. He has no wife and nobody to spend the Easter Monday with, so I've dragged him in here. My friend, welcome to the show. How are you?
After begging me to come and save the day, you are starting the show by attacking me and dirtying me.
Man. Listen.
You still have a few seconds to retract.
How was your Easter?
You still have a few seconds to retract those treacherous...
How was your Easter? How was your Easter?
You still have a few seconds to retract those treacherous...
All right.
And defaming.
Victor Achutamoklu, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How was your Easter?
You have written off everything else you said before.
Yes.
It's been rather restful.
Rather restful. I knew it. That's why I've dragged you here. You over-rested. You've over-rested. Kwanse and Sicho, on the other hand, are chilling with their wives.
How do you know they are not resting?
I'm the donkey. Me, I'm here working.
How do you know they cannot rest while having company?
They are not resting.
I'm saying that. Does having company automatically mean that you cannot rest?
Yes.
Or there is a specific kind of company that stops you from resting?
Yes.
Which one is that?
I cannot say. Guys, this Saturday, right? This Saturday, we are going to Eburi for a walk. Peeva, one of our sponsors, of course, look at this. Charlie, this boy is fresh. Charlie, I'm repping life. You know what I'm going to do? In fact, we are starting the walk from the Ayumensa toll booth, 6 a.m. sharp on Saturday. Me, I'm repping live. Achu will be there. Sicho will be there. Kranti will be there. Saturday morning, live. We are walking from Ayumensa toll booth. And I have express permission from Peeva to tell you that for all our viewers of this show, if you are in Accra and you are coming on Saturday, or you can come on Saturday morning, because after the walk, we are doing a left and right and, some aerobics. Then the baby girls will be there. Then the baby boys will be there. Then Peeva products, chaka. So this is what I've managed to do. If you are coming on Saturday, send me a message right now. Your name and tell me that you are repping live. Then I'll collect all of them and arrange Peeva products for you.
For free?
Yes. If you are a Sports Zone viewer and you are coming for the walk on Saturday and you discovered about the walk on this show right now and you are coming on Saturday, send me a message to the WhatsApp number. Just tell me your name and say you are repping live. When you come, I'll have the list there. I'll give you Peeva products, me. Okay?
Free refreshment.
Everybody who lives around Accra wants to come for them because, it's a Saturday walk, right?
Yeah. And so free refreshments after the event is...
Yeah, that's for the refreshment and all the fun things after the walk. That would be amazing. But I'm saying that all those who are coming, okay, just send me a message to the number is on the screen. Okay, my producer will collate all. Don't worry. It doesn't matter if you are 100 people. Peeva have a whole factory. We'll feed everybody. I didn't send them to ask me to do this, but they said they will do it. And I will be the one to hold the list. So send me a message to the WhatsApp number Just write your name and say, I'm repping live. Okay, we'll collect your names. When you come there on that day, I will make sure you get those products to take back home. We start from the dismissal Tobut, walk up the mountain, lots of people, lots of water, lots of Peeva beverages. It will be fun. It will be fun. You know, it will be fun. And then we can chat football and talk all the nonsense we want on our way up the mountain, thanks to Peeva. So the Peeva walk this Saturday, 26th of April.
Yeah. 6
a.m. We're converging at the Imensa Tobut. We just walk up the mountain, chill there, enjoy some wachi, some aerobics, some fufu. The people like palm wine, some tea. It will be nice. It will be nice. So you should come.
You know the Ebri Mountains there.
Uh-huh.
People go there for different reasons.
Oh, of course. Of course. They say I'm rapping like, why didn't they find a photo of me like fit, you know, with six
Because you are never fit.
Oh, my friend.
This was a photo shoot.
My friend, they couldn't find me a photo where I'm looking fit and, you know, do you understand? Slim and very athletic with kept baseball hat. You know those things?
You have one?
Yes. You mean a photo like that?
Yes.
No, but hey,
you are hardly athletic.
All right, so I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'm receiving your messages. My producer will collate all of them. But also, please put the Zoom link there. Let the people join. We'll talk about something. We're taking you to Abrankesi, okay? We'll start with the Ghana Premier League. That's where, Bright Kojo Teria, he says he's rapping live. Swansea. Swansea. Unless you don't hear free, please come. All right, Benaya, let's start with the Ghana Premier League then, shall we? Okay, some horse racing. Benaya said we should do some horse racing. Achu, you saw that? Show me, roll the video. Hey, we have missed horse racing, you know. Benaya and Kofo with horse racing. Benaya did not go there to video. Benaya went there to do this. This is the Laboma Beach Easter Bonanza horse racing event. Benaya, what's the most popular horse here? Something Star, right? I saw one of the... Oh, but it was amazing. It brought back memories of sports highlights.
It did. It brought back memories. And for someone like me, watching this was remarkable because I fell in love with horse racing when...
They said the winning horse is called Junior Bruno.
Bro, the names of the horses that I grew up watching on GTV.
Give me some of them.
Oh, Madam X.
Madam X.
There was Madam X.
Uh-huh.
There was Jobless.
Who Jobless?
Yes. There was Who Jobless.
Uh-huh.
There was Front, Back, Rear, Back.
Yes.
I wrote down some of the names. There was Madam X. There was Jobless.
Uh-huh.
Then there was
Go on.
I've forgotten, but there were a number of them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And growing up, I had never seen a horse before. Mm-hmm. Me, I grew up in Takrady. There are not a lot of polo clubs there or any areas where in fact, the place called Racecourse Krano, if you go there right now, you will see different settlements there.
Remember Lucky Boy? Skylights.
Look, the names, but my favorite one of them was I Am That I Am.
I Am That I Am.
And you know the funny thing? Mm-hmm. The commentator at that time, Charles Brustego, had a unique way of pronouncing the names when he was running the commentary. Mm-hmm. And you would love him, you would love the games for it. So there was Huja Bless, One Step Ahead, Madam X, like I've mentioned, and then I Am That I Am. Mm-hmm. But today I'm learning that the place that we used to watch all of those games is where now a very popular hotel is.
In fact, the first one was Conference Center. Where Conference Center is. And then attached to Kempinski, all of it was race course, my brother. So then they started with Conference Center and then Kempinski. So that whole enclave is all gone. I think there was another one around the Santor area as well. But I think the most functional one now is the one at the Polo Club, the Accra Polo Club. And the Accra Polo Club people have been organizing amazing polo competitions as well. We've been trying to collaborate with them and all that. So this is horse racing, and then that is polo. So you see there's a difference. Yeah, so this is just racing. Now, it's really hard to find any horse racing event anywhere.
Or proper polo competition.
As for polo, is there. The polo competition is literally playing hockey with horses, right?
There's that.
That happens at the polo club. And then that's different from horse racing, yes.
And you see, for me, it's a sad story. And it betrays the kind of leadership that we have had. Greedy, self-centered, unfuturistic leadership, because there's nothing wrong with giving away some of these spaces, because as society grows, there are going to be certain industries that will overlap others.
Yeah.
If they start giving more value to the economy, others may be relegated. But you need to manage some of these situations such that whilst you are reflecting a certain appreciation of a growth of one industry, you are mindful of ensuring a level playing ground by protecting the gains that has been there. Because, and you know, for a lot of people in the current generation, they are not even aware of how old horse racing and polo.
They don't even know what it is.
So today, I made it a point to correct a number of people on Twitter or X who thought that polo and horse racing are not traditional sports in Ghana. Did you know that?
They are the most traditional.
As far as this country is concerned, horse racing and polo were the first properly organized and well-resourced competitive sports in the country.
Yeah.
Because in the 1920s, those two sports were organized and run by the colonial rulers and Accra's elite.
Yes.
So people with deep pockets who were interested in the sports. And so they had the ideas, there was the interest, and then they had the resources to back it. So first it will start as a recreation, and then later it then developed into a full-blown sports that they had people competing for. When you have that kind of history, and especially what a lot of us grew us on, and I was telling you that I fell in love with horse racing and all of these names without even seeing a horse physically before.
You know some of the names for this competition?
Tell me.
One horse name, Electricity. That's a
KQ.
The one was called Royal Queen. Royal Queen. I mean, that's a bit of
repetition. So you see, you had by failing to ensure the gains of the sports, and I'm talking directly to the sports ministry, you have eroded the interest of an entire generation.
Yeah.
So now
you bring back the
it has to be funded.
Courses.
Look, what should have happened when we were giving away all of those spaces to Conference Center and Kempinski was that creates a new space where people can go and then enjoy these sporting disciplines, and also to make up for the losses that have been incurred by relocating them, put in some seed money, right? Put in a certain investment to at least cushion them. Right now, what happens to all of the nostalgia in the last 24 hours? Everyone has been talking about interest. What happens then?
Mentioning their favorite horse names.
So it
we
dies
can
there.
bring back some. I think they did and might have taken some of the courses to places. You know how we usually like to do, take it away from so that nobody gets interested anymore. Then eventually encroaches. And then because nobody's using it, nobody wants to go there because it's so far from the city center and that sort of thing.
But that's what I'm saying that, you see, when you make decisions like that, you make up for the deficit. So what is the deficit in the situation that is publicity, that is exposure, that is investment. But when you go quiet after doing that, nobody sees the good that you have done.
Yeah.
For those who were looking forward to those events every weekend, in their minds, when they go, they don't see anything. The sport is dead.
I feel like right now, the horse names have been replaced by the signs we see on big trucks and Trotskys.
Trotskys.
Yes. Royal Queen, Top Dollar, Naira, Good Neighbor.
Exactly.
Yeah, Good Neighbor.
Exactly.
Still Hard.
Still Hard.
Do you know Still Hard? One of my favorite inscriptions on a truck. You know the trucks they will have it boldly written there, Good Brother. And then our favorite one was called Still Hard. Now, do you know why the person has Still Hard on his truck as an inscription?
Tell us the story.
It was during the military rule. And this man wrote on his car, Ghana is hard. During the military rule. Then he was moving about and the soldiers caught him. I said, my friend, what do you mean by Ghana is hard? You are making the military ruler unpopular. What do you mean Ghana is hard? So they caught him, shipped him, and they told him to go and clean that thing. He went and cleaned it and wrote.
Still hard. That was when Stubborn Academy was born.
Yes. And then he wrote still hard. That is why he hasn't said Ghana is hard.
He hasn't said Ghana.
He just wrote still hard. So now when those soldiers see,
If you know, you know.
if you know, that is a typical definition of if you know,
You know.
He said, so he cleaned the Ghana is hard and wrote still hard. Anyway, so that's what it is. Hopefully, horse racing will get back to our screens. We've done a bit of commentary about here. That man has paved the way, man, on Monday Night Sports. Big respect to him. We used to complain about this horse racing and these walks, and here I am, promoting a health walk and talking about horse racing.
Something that we absolutely hate.
We hated it during commentary awards time. And I'm sure there are kids who hate what we are doing right now. They're like, go on and show us something and stop talking. All right, we'll show you something. We'll take you to Abrankesi, right? That's where Kotoko were this weekend in a match week 28 encounter in the Ghana Premier League. For 3 games, Kotoko had picked up just 2 draws. And they had lost 1. That is 2 points from a possible 9. And so they needed to win this. And they were losing further grounds in the title race. In the end, this was even worse. They lost by 2-0. This is how it all went down. By 2-0. Right after that, the following day, which is today, Kotoko announced that they were parting ways with head coach Prosper Ogum with 6 games to the end of the season. This campaign, he's won 13 matches, he's lost 7, and he's drawn 8 in 28 encounters this season. Most of the reasons they are ascribing to his sack is that they say he came and sacked a lot of players and called them politicians, but they are claiming that he's the biggest politician. So Ogum is gone. And this is the reason he's gone. But now, show me the table. This is what it looks like. 3 weeks ago, Asante Kotoko were top of the Ghana Premier League table. Now, they are all the way down to 5th position. It's not looking good at the moment. And it's all just really bad. And I wonder how they got there, because in the last 4 matches, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have only managed to pick up 2 points from a possible 12. This is why Kotoko have decided to make that particular decision. Now, look at that. Kotoko have 47 points. They're not that far off from the top. They're 6 points from the top. But only 3 weeks ago, Kotoko were the ones top of the table and looked comfortable and looked like they were going to win the title. At the moment, things are not looking good. However, it's only 6 points with a possible 18 more to go. And Kotoko can catch up, but they simply don't trust that Ogum is the man to catch up. And that's why they've made this decision. Ashu, I mean, what does this tell us? Because Hearts of Folk, they have 1 win in the last 9. They're down in 6th position, 42 points. They are a whopping 11 points away from the top. Their head coach still has a job. No one cares. Kotoko say, we have bigger standards. We're a bigger team. We expect to win the league. This is not good enough. They've gotten rid of the coach.
If Kotoko have sacked their coach, what has that got to do with Hazel?
I mean, 2 teams with similar ambitions. Clearly, only one of them seems more ambitious now. But let's talk about the Kotoko.
Like it or not.
Were you surprised?
Like it or not, I agree with what you said. This is how you maintain standards. This is how you do not allow mediocrity to fester.
You're saying that there was mediocrity at Kotoko?
I think there was. I think Ogum lost control of the dressing room. If you paid attention to his press conferences, there were signs of that. In fact, last week, when the club released that press statement, essentially warning people not to criticize the club and trying to police public commentary, Ogum's lineup in that game against Accra Lions was one that for me was very curious. And he was asked after the game as to why he made those changes. So he dropped some really important players. Kwame Poku, who's been the best player at the club since he rejoined. He dropped him. He dropped Justice Blay. He dropped Baba Yaya as well. And when he was asked, his explanation was that, yes, it was not because the fans asked for changes because they realized that the team was leggy. He felt the team needed some fresh legs, and it was just a coincidence that the calls of the fans reflected in or just sort of matched or coincided with the decisions that he had made. But I didn't agree with him when he said that. For me, it was a sign of a manager who was bowing to the pressure and trying to win some political currency in a very difficult situation. I think Ogum himself has not exactly covered himself in glory. You mentioned the fact that they'd won none of their last 4 games, and how in 3 weeks they've dropped from top of the table to being now some 6 points behind league leaders, maybe in the goal stars. But it's not just what has happened in the last 4 weeks, but also we've seen this run before. From October 27 to November 11, Kotoko did not win a single game. They went on a run of 5 consecutive games without a win.
That period.
They drew only once, and that was against newly promoted Basake Holy Stars, and they lost 4 consecutive league games. I think that's what Kotoko...
Remember that run.
That's what the management was trying to prevent, another run of 5 consecutive games, because if you look at then 18 months or so, or nearly 2 years that Ogum has been in charge since he returned, they've had 3 different spells of going on 5 consecutive games without a win.
They've had those spells.
The first one in the first season when he returned was the one that ended up at Menchia, where he and the playing body had to go and explain why the team was not doing well. And he was given the vote of confidence to continue. When the team went for preseason after that, I saw something that for me was a massive red flag, because when Ogum returned, he was listed as a member of the management team. And that gave him limitless control over transfers. And so he essentially became more than a coach. He became a manager, in the sense that now he was involved in player contracts, he was involved in player negotiations, in essentially being the one who could veto.
So he had absolute control.
He had absolute control. What did Ogum do with that? Signed about 14 new players when he came. At the beginning of the next season, Ogum sacked about 12 of those players, 12 of the new players that he signed. And then when he was asked at the press conference, he said that he needed to make changes, and he promised that the new signings will deliver silverware and good times for the club. That, for me, was the first sign of trouble. One, you had a manager who had failed to meet his objectives, because in his first season, he finished 6th on the league table with 49 points. There was no league, there was no FA Cup silverware, the football was bad. And in admitting that the signings that he made a mistake, he sacked over 90% of the players that he signed. In any properly run organization, the sort of control that allowed him to make those mistakes in the first place will be reviewed at the very least. It will either be taken away from you, or you will have considerably less autonomy in that area. But it did not happen. He stayed on as a member of the management team and still decided who played for the team. And here's the thing. You may want to hide behind the cloak of Kwesi Appiah as the head of the technical unit. But in the period that he got that job, his preoccupation has been with Sudan, because of the AFCON qualifiers and the World Cup qualifiers as well.
In absolute control.
So you had a scenario where Kwesi Appiah, who is the most experienced football person at the club, had another job that was far too demanding for him to prioritize Kotoko. Then you had Emmanuel Dasoberi jumping ship after 12 months into the job. Then Ogum himself. So ultimately, you were left with a club with only one proper football person, and that was the coach. A club the size of Kotoko, you leave it in the hands of Ogum, part-time Dasoberi, part-time Kwesi Appiah, and then the man whose name I absolutely love, the Nkontomponi Aferi, Nana Penkra. He means well, but he needs a proper structure around him. So Kotoko did not equip him with that. To make matters worse, they decided to, when things went south, I think it was after that October run, they decided that you are no longer going to be part of the management, so focus on the coaching. Then they brought in Malek Jaber.
Yes.
So you have this situation where no one knows what the club wants to achieve, and for 3 years, Kotoko has not had a board in place. look, if you had a board in place, a board essentially gives you policy direction. And then the management just fleshes it out and goes out to execute that task.
I get that. So management point of view, there are issues. I'm trying to see how that resulted in the kind of results.
But that's what I've told you. They were left with.
But Ogum had control.
Ogum had control. He's
a smart manager. But why didn't he make smart decisions?
So there's a difference between the role of a sporting director and that of a football coach. Okay. For the coach, your job is to take what a sporting director has done in terms of the recruitment, everything that he's put on paper, and make it manifest.
But Ogum was essentially sporting director, coach, manager.
Everything.
So if he could do all of these things, why did he fail?
I'm saying that he didn't have the competence for all of that. There's no coach in this world
okay, I get you.
who has the competence for all of that.
Okay.
And that is how come the coaching bits. Look, the football that we've seen Kotoko play in the 2 years since Ogum returned is the worst I've seen of any Ogum team.
So you're saying that this is the right decision?
This is the right decision, except that you should have allowed him to end the season. It's just the timing that I don't agree with.
Okay.
Right? Because now there's still the FA. Because that's for the league.
The House of Folk,
You know the funny thing? I wrote something on Twitter today. Some people, they couldn't reply on the tweets. They came to my inbox to come and tell me we'll be here. Coachless Kotoko. We'll come to Accra and they will beat us.
Next weekend.
Oh, they will beat us.
The Super Clash is next week. Yeah. Kotoko have sacked their coach ahead of that game.
Yeah.
No, Kotoko's next game is a Diana.
Diana on Sunday, then after that.
After that is against...
So next weekend is Hearts.
Without a coach, they'll come to Accra and come and beat us.
See, I'm
not ruling that out.
See, it is you people who think that they are in a sticky wicket.
I've got an interesting message here from Chancellor in Abrepo in Kumasi. He said, I think the sacking of Coach Prosper Ogum is more of hatred and politics than just performance. I'm a Kotoko fan, but the pull him down syndrome within some of the Kotoko fans and the local media, especially in Kumasi, who think they know it all, is very outmoded. And they need to grow and realize football is evolving. And they must also change their mind and set their mindset of Coach Kotoko must win at all costs. I wish Coach Ogum all the best in all his endeavors. He's talking about the internal politics and what have you. And it's Kotoko. You can never rule that out. Trust me, I've seen it.
Friends, listen, it is nonsense. Let's call it for what it is.
What is nonsense?
Everywhere in the world,
there's politics.
No, everywhere in the world.
There is politics.
Wait, everywhere in the world, journalists are super critical of the clubs they love.
Yes.
In a place like Kumasi, where passion is practically the oxygen they breathe, of course you will see that. But you cannot jump from people being excessively critical of the club or the coach to saying that that is what should influence the decision of the management. If you are a board member or a management member or a power broker and what forms the basis of your decision is radio commentary, then you have no business being in that seat. You think in places like Madrid and Barcelona, the press are kind when results are not good. You think they are very patronizing when results are not good.
Okay.
It is everywhere in the world. Leave the journalists, and as for the fans, this happens every time there is a change in management. There are some who wish doom on the club. It's unfortunate, but that is Kotoko. It is what it is.
Prince watching live from La Paz says, Man United, Bobo. This team will make me get heart attack. The rate at which they concede goals is very, very bad. I'm repping live. Bozozo Raphael says he's repping live. Okay, so if you're repping live at the Peeva Health Walk on Saturday morning, let me know. Send me your name and just write your repping live. We'll give you free Peeva products when you come. Good evening, Fento. Your panel over there. I hope you had a successful trip in Germany. Jacob School from EG. I just want to extend my happiness to all Liverpool fans across the world. Very soon, our Liverpool Football Club will be crowned Premier League champions. Yeah, they're one win away from winning the title. This one says, I remember watching as a kid on GTV. Kwabena Yabwa showed horse racing on Sports Highlights. That is very, very true. Ajay Robert from National Police Headquarters, Visibility Unit says he's repping live in Khaled. Ajay, I'll see you on Saturday. Emmanuel at Timbugiri, Amewene says, please, I'm repping live. All right, Emmanuel, I'll see you on Saturday as well. Bismarck says, I'll be repping live at the Peeva Walk at Imanso on Saturday. Bismarck, thank you very much. I'll see you then. Candy Bobo says he's repping live. I know Kofi also says he's repping live. Okay. Oseya Nsuyane says a proper remontada happened for Man U, not what those people wanted to do. But unfortunately, the road ends in the semis. The final is in Bilbao, and they will want to make it. They will do everything possible to make it there. From Joe Becky in the Volta region, Suspenso, are you praying for Man United to be relegated? No, I said congratulations. Mathematically, you cannot be relegated again. Okay? This one says, good evening, guys. Man United should have been relegated from the Premier League this season so that they reset the team. How on earth does a big club like Man United play 33 games and have 38 points? What a shambolic performance of a season. Sherry from Asim Fosu. Man United, in 9 matches they've played at home, they've won 2. They've lost the rest. Hey, and Koyo Krao. Hey, Man U. More messages here. This one says, I'm Alasan from Vamboy. Good evening, my brother. Oh, good evening, my brother. How are you? Oh, I hope everybody is fine in the village. From my hometown, Vamboy. Thank you very much, Alasan, for your message. This message, it says, hi, I'm Harry from Tema. Hey, Kotoko, why should you sack the coach for just losing 2 matches? Question, you've asked a question. This one says, good evening to you. I really love the topic. Please. Okay, this message is not for me. But now you have sent me a message. But I'm going to read it anyway. I think it's a message from a different show. Or a different show is happening. They've said, good evening. It's a good afternoon to you all. I really love that. Hey, somebody say, I really love the topic. Please, sex before marriage is wrong according to the Holy Book. But these days, if you are not careful, you end up having problems with your partner. Please, I help myself till 30 years after marriage. After marriage. 30 years after marriage. Okay.
That would be a mistake.
I realized that. Oh, no. Hey. That's not the message. Wait.
Okay.
Hey, show back, Randy. Which show is this? That they are sending on the more serious note. On the more serious note.
I just said,
he said, please, I'm finishing the message. Please don't laugh. Please, I held myself till 3 years after marriage. That was when I realized that I had a manhole. Which show is this? I want to be on that show. These are the things they discuss over there.
Wait.
He said, he did not finish. He said, I really suffered. To me, sex before marriage will help. He started by saying that it's not good according to the Bible. But he discovered a manhole after.
Did he put his name under the message?
Where is he? He didn't add his name.
Better.
That's why he didn't add his name.
Better.
That's why he didn't add his name. I've got more messages here. This one says, good evening, friend. My name is Abdurrahman Uro Agro from Pantaibo Kubi. You really make me laugh this evening about the still hard story. yeah, still hard. Luis Ajman, or Luis Champion says, Ogum is the worst ever coach I've ever seen. He even doesn't know how to do substitution. Hey, Luis. Hey, Luis, calm down.
Should we give him a list of their former coaches?
I relax.
He has forgotten the one that took them to the Etihad Chemists. And then the Lugarozic and the recent one.
Of course.
Izetil Zacharias.
And the one from Burkina. Friend, good evening. I will blame the Kotoko IMC for the bad result recently. Kotoko has stayed at the top of the league for about a month. If House of Oak could do everything to win and survive relegation at Bechim, why can't they do the same to win the league? They should know that Ogum is not the problem. The players are not serious. I'm Kadan, so from Prankrono. And this one says, House of Oak should learn from Kotoko and also sack their coach. It's even worse. I know, right? I don't know what they are waiting for. Anyway. Listen, the CAF African Schools Championship is happening in Accra. The draw was held today. Ghana's and the 15 boys and girls will be there, have competition. The draw was held. Benaya, let's see who are Ghana playing. So the boys have been drawn to play against, hold on for me. The boys have been drawn to play against Uganda, South Africa, and Algeria. And then the girls have been drawn to play against Morocco, Benin, and Malawi. way. So there you go. So the under 15 boys will face Uganda, South Africa, and Algeria. And then the girls will face, as I said, Morocco, Benin, and Malawi. This is the draw. Asamoah was there. He conducted the draw, and he had a few words to share about the competition. This is what he said. And we are hosting at the University of Ghana Stadium. So come and see under 15 boys and girls from all over the continent take part in the competition. Asamoah is an ambassador. He took part in the draw. And this is what Asamoah said at the draw.
Congratulations to CAF for this initiative. It's going to help this generation to benefit. We don't know, we're going to get a lot of stars in the near future, you know, talking about the boys and the girls. It's great for the media. It's going to boost their experience. You know, when you start at that early, everything starts from that foundation. When you have a strong foundation and then you get to that level, it's going to help with all the aspects of the game. You know, talking about the coaches, you know, I think journalists and etc. So it's gonna help to boost their experience till they get to where they want to be. At the age of 18, maybe they've had like 5 years experience in journalism and coaching and everything, even in refereeing. You know, so it's gonna help us. Yeah, it's a motivation to them. Well, we went to visit them this morning, and then they were very happy. You know, most of the African players were a bit naive because, you know, of their age. They don't remember their faces. But of course, our team, the Ghana team, were able to recognize me, of course, and then they were so happy. And then they were saying they were going to win it, and we encouraged them to win it. And they said they're going to win it, so we just support them. Personally, I can't wait to be there. I'm going to be there throughout the competition and to support this kids because we are their role models, and we are also here to support them. So talking about grassroots football, I'm 100% in support, and we do everything possible to make it a success.
All right, so the football itself will start on the 23rd, which is on Wednesday. So go to the University of Ghana Stadium and support. We'll put out all the fixtures on our social media handles as well, so that you know which game is happening at what time, and then you can go and catch the games for yourself. To under 15, you go to under 17. Over the weekend, we saw Morocco win the under 17 CAF competition. They played against Mali in the final. It went into a penalty shootout. And what a penalty to decide this particular tournament. Let's take a look at the highlights. So Mali, obviously not a good match for Morocco. And this is how it went down. Some people are enjoying. Some people are enjoying. We didn't qualify, so we have to watch at home. The top 4 countries are going to the World Cup. Those are the top 5. The winners, Morocco. Mali, the finalists. There's Cote d'Ivoire. There's Burkina Faso. This is, if you are wondering, this is the competition we would have qualified for if Laye Kingston and his people had won. You see the match where Laye Kingston abandoned the team and said he has resigned. That tournament, that was the qualifiers. And we hosted it to Ghana.
And the people who we couldn't beat, no?
Yes.
Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes. But Cote d'Ivoire, they finished in the top 4. They are going to the World Cup.
Look,
Cote d'Ivoire came here for the qualifiers. Yeah.
Morocco are not getting these results by accident.
Of course.
There is, again, intentional, futuristic, honest leadership. Honest. Do you know what we used our FIFA COVID relief funds for? Do you have any idea what we used?
Always. Yeah. We have spent $250 on prime pitch. Okay,
so let me tell you.
Boreholes. Sorry.
Morocco got theirs and decided to give. It was $500,000 by the way, per federation. That's what's on the FIFA website. To use the chunk of it to support women's football. And then they made what at the time many thought was a crazy, some said overambitious decision of bringing Ronald Pedros. At the time, the best women's coach in the world. He had won the Women's Champions League with Lyon back-to-back, 2019, 2020. And at the time, they were the best team in the world. Morocco said, that's the guy who wants to coach our national team. They used some of that money to hire him, gave him a long-term contract, laid the foundation for their women's team. They had a similar approach for the youth football. So unlike in Ghana where we pretend that every club has youth teams, they actually insist on running a proper youth team for all of the clubs in the elite division, right? That means you have a bigger pool of players to select from because you are exposing the young players to organized structural football at a very early age. They did that, and along with their own national academy, started producing very good players. So you had the under-17 generation of the Naif Aged, Naseri, Onahi, who did very well at the World Cup, all taking center stage in the national team, being the reference point for the new generation that is coming. So again, intentional, transparent leadership. That is what is producing this. Hopefully someday we get to the point where, beyond talking about our passion for the game, we put enough money into it.
All right, so that's that. So congratulations to Mali. We didn't even qualify. They're going to the World Cup. Hopefully we'll be there the next time around. Our under-20, though, are at the CAF Under-20 Championship. They left the country on Friday. And they are in Egypt for the competition. Our first game is on May 1, I believe, which is next week. So next Monday, we will get to preview that game and talk about the Black Satellite squad and what they've been doing and what have you. What we will do now is take a short break. When we come back, we will take you to England and take you around Europe and show you very important action all around. Welcome back. This is Sport Zone. It's time to bring you Guinness Match Day, which basically is all the conversation we had on European football, including the Premier League. And we're going to show you highlights from several league centres. And I just introduced all of them. You enjoy them all, and we'll come back here. So Manchester United lost, again, at home this season. And it's officially the worst start to any manager's career at Manchester United. That is Ruben Amorim. Liverpool won. They are a step closer. They're one win away from winning the Premier League title. Arsenal, their victory against Ipswich was what delayed it. Chelsea left it late. Neto scoring a late winner to give them some hope in their chase for Champions League football. But today, just this evening, Nottingham Forest have ensured that they jump back up against, back on top of Chelsea Football Club. So we're showing you all of those highlights, including Man City's, and then we will come back here and analyze them. Enjoy the Premier League action from the weekend. Arsenal highlights earlier. These are the rest of the results. Brentford also winning 4-2 there. And, of course, Aston Villa beating Newcastle by 4-1. That was a big surprise. Leicester City's defeat to Liverpool means they are relegated. This is what the table looks like now. And there you go. Liverpool 79 points. They are just one win away from the Premier League title. One win away from the Premier League title. And, you know, it is what it is. It's the undeniable Liverpool will be champions come this weekend, no matter what happens. The bottom of the table, it looks like this. Two teams relegated already. Southampton gone, Leicester gone. That's 3 Ghanaian players there. Kamaldeen with Southampton. You've got Abdul Fattah Issahaku and Black Stars captain Jordan Ayew with Leicester City gone. Ipswich Town look certain to be joining them. And because 3 teams are going down, well, 2 teams have been confirmed to have gone down already, and 2 teams have been confirmed to have come up. Leeds United, they won today against Leeds won against Stoke City by 6-0, and Leeds have been promoted alongside Burnley, who also beat Sheffield United by 2-1. And look at the scenes, my friends. Look at the scenes, my friend. Achutamaklu. This is what promotion feels like. This is unbelievable.
It's Leeds United, one of the big teams in England, who I think since the turn of the millennium have taken a nosedive, but the support base is still there. The credibility that they have, the street cred, as the Gen Zs would say, that they have had over the years is still there. It's still a team that a lot of people are passionate about. So when they qualify on nights like this or produce performances like that, definitely you will see an outpouring. You will see people showing their Leeds colors again. And I'm happy for them, except that for 5-6 years now, teams who get promoted into the Premier League from the Championship hardly stay. And when they get into the Premier League, it makes nonsense of all of the good form. So you see the Burnley numbers that they are recording. They've only conceded 15 goals all season.
In 44 matches.
They'll probably get into the Premier League and then
they've not lost in their last 31.
They'll probably get into the Premier League and then they will concede a triple of that, 3 times that number in their first 10 games or something like that.
Yeah, actually, you know what's interesting about this promotion? Struijk was for them in the Premier League, by the way.
They have a number of them. Yeah. I think Gnonto as well.
Yeah.
He played today.
You know what's interesting about these two teams?
Tell me.
Burnley and Leeds United, who have been promoted. They've both been promoted, and none of them has won the championship yet. They are level on points after 44 games.
Remarkable.
44 games.
It just speaks to the gulf between them.
Exactly.
And then the rest of the chasing.
But the teams that are in the playoff places are Sheffield, Sunderland, Bristol, and Coventry. Frank Lampard, somehow. These are the teams from Burnley. They are coached by Scott Parker, who also got Fulham promoted 2 seasons ago, but just couldn't handle things, and they had to get rid of him.
He's the one that the squad that he got Fulham relegated with, it was criminal.
Yeah.
Check where those players are playing today. Check where all of those guys. Zambo Anguissa is on the verge of winning his second Serie A.
Yeah.
With Napoli.
Absolutely. All right, so those are the scenes from Burnley. They are also promoted. We'll see them in the Premier League next season. All right, fantastic scenes. Absolute.
Remember when Company promoted them and then they went on pre-season at the end of May? Yes. 1 clear month ahead of...
Anyway, so that's what it is. The lowdown on the Premier League. We will take another brief break. When we come back, I will take you to Spain and then take you to Italy and then Germany, and then we'll wrap it up. Do stay with us. This is Sports Zone. All right, welcome back. This is Sports Zone. I've got some of your messages. Dale in Madrid says, I'm enjoying your show. You need to pay Achu overtime for truncating his rest. It says, I want to rep live. And Remontada didn't happen, but we still have something to pay for. Atletico Madrid, the standard is too high. How should know that we are not happy? That's Dale. Harry says, please, Chelsea should sack our coach. All he knows is passing the ball. Good evening, Senior. Chelsea will surely get to the top 4. Still blue is the color. This is from Bozuzo Raphael. This message says, the only thing Coach Ogum knows is bragging and unnecessary talks about the players. To me, he's the worst coach in Ghana now. Interesting. This was a good evening, bro. This is Dr. Isbonting. Man United has lost focus in the Premiership. Let's leave them to play in the Europa. As for Kotoko and Haas, time will tell. Thank you, Doc. Frank from Kumasi said, you guys made me miss my favorite horse name in those days. It was called Obionko. Obionko. Sorry, Obionko. Someone's friend, Obionko. Yeah, that's true. Frank, thank you for that. Obionko. Sorry. That's Frank. Fred says, I'll see you on Saturday. Thank you, Fred. Fred is repping live. Peeva has a walk on Saturday. We are converging at the Ayimensa toll booth. We walk up the mountain to Eburi. We won't reach Eburi. It's too far. We'll get to
just climb the hills. Descend it for
where the presidential
a few meters.
Ejiase, then we finish. Yeah. So all of you who will come through Sports Zone, you come. I'll make sure you get Peeva products. So send me a message that you are repping live. And producer is taking your details. Showed me that he's written their names and their phone numbers. When they come, we'll sport there. So Fred, I'll see you there Saturday morning. This one says, Fentu, welcome. Watching live from Masamankese. This is Zamix official. Fentu, did you bring my Chelsea and Dortmund jerseys? I didn't go to Dortmund. I didn't go to Chelsea, unfortunately. I went to Munich, Augsburg, and Frankfurt. Yeah. Those are the places I went to. This one said, good evening, big up to you guys. You're doing a fantastic job. But Mr. Fentu, show one of your video posts saying, I saw one of your video posts saying Arsenal fans are happy for reaching the semi-final. It's time for PSG to eliminate them and that they cannot win this Champions League. Please, can you confirm you were actually the one who made that video? Thanks. It was me. And this was how can a good coach take out Emmanuel Enchi and bring in Baba Yaya? who is in bad form this season. I'm so happy that Ogum has left the club. Interesting.
Hey.
I want to show you Barcelona and Real Madrid's game. But Real Madrid scored a wonderful goal, Fede Valverde, in the last minute of the game to give them all 3 points against Athletic Bilbao. Barca showed enormous grit to get a comeback. This is the Barcelona game. Iglesias, he scored a hat-trick in this game after Barca scored first. Yeah. And I didn't think there was a way back for Barcelona, but what a way to fight back.
It was crazy because Iglesias...
the first goal.
Yeah, Iglesias has had a very difficult past 24 months. So last season he was at Bayer Leverkusen, played just 7 games all season, didn't score a goal. In fact, before Saturday's game, he had scored only twice in his last 28 matches.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in 62 minutes, he hits a hat-trick against Barcelona, who, to be very honest, I think they looked quite leggy. They were very tired. And Hansi Flick was right to complain about the fixture schedule because it made absolutely no sense to ask Barcelona to play midweek and then play on Saturday afternoon. They could have played on Sunday. They could have played on Monday nights. But somehow, La Liga wanted them to play when their squad itself is already stretched. But it was an important win that they managed to secure. For Rafinha, the brace he hits takes his goal contributions to 51, to 52, sorry, in all competitions. Crazy. Yeah.
That's the third goal. What a cheeky finish.
52. But look, Iglesias, Saturday it will be the best moment of his career.
Unbelievable.
Because, look, if you asked him to even bet on himself scoring, I'm sure he would tell you that, look, check my numbers from the last 28 matches. Right? He's not having a good season. He's not even getting regular opportunities in front of goal for him to be scoring, for you to say that he came into this game on the back of a good form. And that's what made this performance crazy, because each of those goals were very well taken goals. The composure that he kept in.
This was a Rafinha first goal to make it 3-3.
Yeah. And it was important for Barcelona in what is going to be a very testing fortnight for them, because first they've got El Clásico on April 26th. Yeah. And then the midweek after that, they've got the first leg of the UEFA Champions League against Inter Milan. So,
and they are going to miss Lewandowski.
So it was important that they got the win in this game, right? And I'm sure if you ask Flick and even the entire Barca team, if there was any of the games in their running where they will struggle but they will get the results under this circumstance, it has to be this one. Because after this, they at least get to breathe. There is 1 week before the next game.
This was another difficult test for Real Madrid. They needed to come back from the Arsenal debacle. And my word, 93rd minute. This was sweet. Like, he caught it exactly how he would have wanted.
It was a brilliant goal, but I think that it also papered over the cracks, because for me, there was nothing to celebrate about that performance. I was watching the game.
You gave them 3 points. You can't say that.
It did, but again, there were the age-old issues that we've seen with the Real Madrid team. Completely disfigured, no lack of cohesiveness, no identity whatsoever to what they were playing, and he had to take that bit of individual brilliance to get them the win.
Okay. Inter Milan lost to Bologna by 1-0, and the goal came late on. That's it. How to score a winner.
Ossolini.
My word. And this is how Inter were undone. And then, of course, oh my God, what a goal.
It was a brilliant goal. Inter would have no excuses. I've seen a few people talk about the fact that Pavard, who's not a starter in the team, was thrown into the team. Jan Bisek, who doesn't get to start, was also thrown into the team because Inzaghi wanted to freshen up the squad after the Champions League game. But these are the sort of matches you want to win around this time. But it set it up nicely.
Napoli took full advantage.
Yes, that's what
they also labored. Monza are bottom of the table.
But that's the point. You have to win. I mean,
but they found it. That's the winner.
That's the point. If they are tied at the end of the season, and that's what everyone is praying for now, we may get to see that playoff between Inter and then Napoli.
All right. This is the Bayer game against Heidenheim. They won by 4-0. Harry Kane scored again, as usual. There he is. Incredible performance from him. Kimmich got on the score sheet.
He's not broken.
Oman got on the score sheet. That's Kimmich.
Yeah.
Heidenheim are bottom of the table, right?
Obviously, it was expected. Kane has now broken the record that was set by Erling Haaland. He's the fastest player to reach 60 goals in
Yeah,
the
the
German.
fastest player to reach 60 goals.
Yeah.
He did it in how many games? 60?
I think 64.
No, I think Haaland did it in 60.
Haaland's 64. Yeah.
He did it 60.
60, and it's been brilliant.
Anyway, that's our show tonight. So thank you so much, all of you, for tuning in. I'll see you guys on Saturday on the Peeva Health Walk. Thank you, Achu, for being generous enough to get on here. We're back again next Monday with another episode of Sport Zone. Until then, I appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you again next Monday.